This is a legend of Milky Fred. Yo, here are the rules for this playthrough challenge. I think most of them are self-explanatory. The 50-hour rule was to prevent me from over-leveling to 100 and just one-shotting everything. We want to beat this game through strategy just like how Nintendo wanted. Note that the time limit is only based on the in-game timer, which means I'm allowed to reset the game as much as I want. The final rule is, I'm here to have fun and enjoy this challenge. Let's get it. You better not be thinking of stealing my turtle, bro. Well, look at my plethora of options here. A turtle called Chikorita, a turtle called Totodile, and a turtle called Cyndaquil. Naturally, I'm picking the Chikorita Shuckle to make sure my rival has a type advantage with Cyndaquil against me. This guy looks a bit like a Fred, so let's call him Milky Fred. To begin, I reset until I find a decent nature. I'm not sure whether I can clear this run without a proper nature, so just to save myself potentially the entire run, I decided to just be extra picky from the start. Ideally, I wanted Impish Nature for more defense and less special attack, as I don't think we're going to be using special attack at all, but Careful Nature is close enough, increasing special defense and decreasing special attack. I only literally just realized what our moveset for Milky Fred was. Constrict, Withdrawal, and Bide. Bruh. Our fight against his first wild Hoot lasted 2 minutes, just constricting him over and over. I also just realized that Shuckle's learning moveset is trash in HeartGold, with our next offensive attack at level 22 being Wrap. Coming into this challenge, I thought Power Split was in this generation, but it turns out that it isn't. I saw that Shuckle runs in other generations relied on the TM for rollout, which basically one-shot every team possible, but luckily for me, that's not a TM in HeartGold and Soul Silver. Well, you're in for a treat. Shuckle fact. Out of all Pokemon, what is the highest possible damage that can be dealt in one hit? Well, did you know that Shuckle can deal the highest possible damage of 721,899,685? How, you might ask? Well, there's a very simple answer. You only need to boost a Shuckle with 2 Pokemon using Helping Hand in a triple battle, hold the Metronome, Power Trick, Skill Swap to Pure Power, convert to Ice type, and have 6 stages of attack stat increase. Oh, and you need both of your other Pokemon to have the ability Flower Gift and make the weather sunny. And then behold, on the 5th turn after you use a defense curled boosted Ice Ball that of course you need to mimic, you deal 721,899,685 damage with a critical strike against a level 1 Noibat with 0 IV and 0 EV with negative 6 stages of defense and under the effect of Forest Curse. Bruh. Simple, right? Credits to Mr. Edgar Elenes for providing this fun fact on Quora. Yeah, Bite is really useless. I tried experimenting with it, but Milky Fred just takes so little damage because Shuckle has insanely high defense and special defense. This is literally the first time I've had to run away from a level 4 Hoot, because we genuinely would have lost this battle. Look at this Rattata tail whipping 6 times and still only dealing 1 damage with Tackle. I realized that there was no point fighting wild Pokemon with Constrict dealing way too little damage, so we just started running away from every wild Pokemon encounter. Help me! Chikorita! Wait, what the fuck? Why did he pull out Chikorita? I literally chose Chikorita Shuckle as my starter. Anyways, I can't be bothered resetting to make sure he gets a Cyndaquil, so I'll just keep going. Milky Fred absolutely constricted his Chikorita to death. It's comical how little damage he dealt to Milky Fred. Even with a crit, he did a whopping 1 damage. I remember from Dragon Ball Z that the turtle's enemy was the Crane, Master Roshi and Master Shen, so I decided to call him Mr. Shen. Finally, Constrict is looking like it's dealing more than 1 damage. Encore is sort of useful on Shuckle but not really. The only scenario I really see Milky Fred using it in this run is early on to combine it with Bide to guarantee the return deflection. Perfect example here. Milky Fred ran out of PP for Constrict with this guy being my 3rd opponent in a row, so we had to use Encore Bide combination to finish him off. This guy is optional to fight, but he has such an annoying team against us. By the time we get to his Weedle, Milky Fred only has like 10 HP left and there's a chance of getting poisoned which leads to our loss. In our second attempt against him, we used Encore to force his first 2 Caterpies to only string shot us, preserving Milky Fred's HP, and against all odds, we managed to avoid the poison from Poison Sting, and even crit both his Weedle and his last Caterpie to win the battle. The luckiest battle we've had so far. We got to Violet City, woohoo! So far, not bad. Bro, these trainers who have more than 2 Pokemon actually counter us. We can't take more damage because we don't have enough HP. We can beat 2 out of the 3 Bellsprouts. Surprise, mother... before we lose. I realized that we're going to be repeating this battle for a while, so I decided to stock up on potions to prevent myself from losing money when blacking out over and over. Just so you're clear, these potions won't be used for battle, they're only going to be used in between battles. After failing over 7 times, I realized that we just need to spam Bide in order to win this battle. His Bellsprouts only use Vine Whip over and over. We managed to snag a couple of levels from battling this guy a few times. We need at least 31 HP to beat this battle spamming Bide, with each of his Bellsprouts dealing 10 damage each assuming no crits. We got 2 lucky crits off with Constrict to finally win this battle, but this was literally our 8th attempt. Milky Fred also learnt Safeguard at level 14. I don't think it's too useful at the moment, but I think it's a bit more useful than Withdraw, so we took that for now. Bro, this guy literally has the same Pokemon and moves as the previous trainer. Our Bide strategy with exactly 31 HP only works assuming he doesn't crit at all, so I decided to just go back to spamming Constrict, barely beating him on my 2nd attempt. I'm already starting to hate this run. Oh gosh. Don't you dare tell me. Oh thank god, these guys only have 1 Pokemon. Wow, finally something that's not a Bellsprout. This is sudden death. Milky Fred is asleep and has 1 HP, and his Hoot also has 1 HP. We're faster, so we have to wake up and knock him out. Wake up, you stupid turtle. No! Okay, he misses. Wake up, you turtle. No! What the fuck? Alright, I figured out the strategy to beat him. When he takes Hoo out, the big problem is Hypnosis. So we'll use Safeguard, which lasts 5 turns, and Constrict 4 times with Safeguard wearing off. Then use Encore, which forces Hoo to use Tackle, and then use Constrict 2 times, then repeat this sequence again to force a permanent chain of tackles from him. We just barely managed to scrape the win on our 7th attempt with literally 1 HP. Holy crap. Alright, it's the final boss now. Ah yes, a very original team. Definitely an iteration I haven't seen over the past 2 hours. We can use the same strategy with Hoo as I did before. The only issue is, by the time we get to the Hoo, our HP is too damn low. This is about to be a long repetitive fight. I found that Milky Fred is actually faster than both of the Elder's Bellsprouts, so we can use Encore on the next turn after he uses Growth to force them to keep growing, and slowly whittle them down with Constrict, and with that, we got to Hoo with more than enough HP to win the battle on our 4th attempt. Oh, so sick of plants now. Beating the Elder gets me the TM for Flash, which is completely useless for Shuckle, but more importantly, access to our first gym Falkner. Let's go steal his badge. Falkner starts off with a Pidgey. The game plan is, we're slower than Pidgey, so we'll use Encore first. If the Pidgey uses Sand Attack to start, then I reset the game until he starts with Tackle. One Constrict reducing Pidgey's speed allows us to outspeed him, so we'll then be able to chain another Encore onto him, which gives us an easy win. The issue is, his Pidgeotto with Roost. I actually thought I had a good strategy here. Basically, we spam Constrict until we lower his Pidgeotto speed with a 10% chance so that Milky Fred is faster, and when he uses Roost, use Encore to waste all his PP on Roost, and just finish him off slowly after that. The problem was that even though we didn't get a chance to lower his speed, I realized that we still wouldn't have enough damage to win this battle. So I decided that we just need to train up a bit more in Route 32 until level 22, when we learn Wrap, a slight upgrade to Constrict. I'm a bit annoyed because I wanted to avoid grinding as much as possible, but it doesn't really look like we have much of a choice here. I'm getting PTSD. Bellsprouts are the best for us to train against here because they only have Vine Whip, meaning that we can always guarantee 3-shotting them with Bide, and they give us 72 EXP. Rattata is okay as well, but at the same level they only give 48 EXP. After 2.5 hours of grinding, Milky Fred finally reached level 22, which means we have access to Wrap now. Wrap does slightly more damage than Constrict, but also deals 1/16 of the opponent's HP for a few turns, so it's going to greatly increase our damage. Unfortunately, all 4 moves we have right now are really important, so we were really in a deep dilemma. But I realized that in order to progress this fight against Falkner, we need that extra damage from Wrap, and the least important move at the moment was Safeguard. Yes, funnily enough, Constrict is actually a really important move for this fight, because I need to be faster than Pidgeotto to Encore his Roost out of PP. At level 27, Shuckle learns Rest anyways, which would have replaced Safeguard. I just hope that we don't need Safeguard until then. This time, I predicted the Roost and Encored him. If he hadn't Roosted and used an attacking move instead, we would have been able to finish him off just wrapping him every turn. Unfortunately, the Encore ends sooner than I expected, and he still has PP left, so we battle it out to the very end. And with that, we defeated Falkner and got his Zephyr badge 6 hours and 10 minutes into this run. I avoided every trainer on this route and went straight into Union Cave. Do you know what this is? It's the one attacking TM that will save me from going insane in this run. Rock Tomb. I'm so excited, we no longer have to use Constrict anymore. And we out without a single battle. Holy shit, finally we have a decent move. Only one problem, he only has 10 PP, which means we need to go to the Pokemon Center every few battles. Alright, let's see what you're made out of. We'll show you who the real Bugmaster here is. Milky Fred absolutely buried him. The only tight thing about this battle was Rocktoon's PP, but we managed to have just enough PP to win this battle. And with that, we got our second badge to the Hive badge at 6 hours and 55 minutes. Oh hey, Total Thief. Okay, this guy is slightly annoying. If his Ghastly gets a curse off, it's pretty much game over, so we have to defeat the Ghastly before he gets that off. Also, I thought the game was accidentally easier with him getting Chikorita, but I realized that this starter might be the hardest opponent to fight against anyways. He plays his Bayleaf as a Staller, but has Toxic and Synthesis, so we can't really beat him at the moment. My only strategy now is to fight him over and over until I level Milky Fred to level 27 and learn Rest. That's what I thought until I did a run where I blind encored him straight away. He used Poison Powder and we landed a lucky crit with Rock Tomb, allowing us to just barely win the fight with enough PP. We found a really weird guy just headbutting a tree, so I went to check him out, and it turns out that he can teach Milky Fred that 70 power normal type attack. This is so good for us. We replaced Bide with Headbutt. Honestly, we could replace either Wrap or Bide, but it doesn't really matter at this point. In 2 levels time, Milky Fred's getting Rest anyways, so that's going to replace the other move. And we get to Goldenrod City. Time to go straight to the gym. This gym was really annoying to verse. We couldn't use Rock Tomb without thinking, because her Clefairy has Mimic, which is really bad for us. Our Rock Tomb is super effective against us. Also, we can't headbutt a lot because we'll get attracted from her cute charm ability. I should have reset until I had a female Shuckle at the start. On top of all that, her Clefairy has Metronome as well, which uses any random move. It can really mess up my run if she manages to use a stat reducing move. Oh gosh, Bide would have made this battle so much easier. I didn't know that rollout was super effective against Milky Fred. I guess for Miltank, we'll need level 27 to access Rest then. Yep, getting rid of Wrap. I'm pretty sure I'll be keeping Encore and Rest for this entire run. Even with Rest, we still can't beat this gym. This cow does too much damage to us with rollout. I guess the only thing we could really do is level up Milky Fred a bit more until rollout does no damage to us. Even at level 30, this battle was still impossible. Her Miltank is so damn tanky, and Milky Fred still gets wiped out by her rollout. We had to change up our strategy. While I was scouting around the department store, there were 2 TMs that I realized could come really handy. Flash and Protect. Rollout is a move that lasts 5 turns, with the damage doubling each turn, 30, 60, 120, 240, 480. 480 is insane. No wonder Milky Fred gets one shot by that. If we're able to Protect on the second turn, Rollout will reset back to the 30 base damage attack. Alternatively, Flash is a move that decreases accuracy, so we could potentially have her accuracy so low that she can't land more than 1 consecutive rollout on us. The only problem is that all of our current moves are so important to us. Encore has been such an amazing utility move this entire run, carrying us in countless battles that we wouldn't have otherwise been able to beat. And Headbutt and Rock Tomb are important attacking moves. We need at least 2 attacking moves for the power points because Milky Fred's damage output is too low. We really can't replace Rest, as it's the most important move in this run in my opinion. I think we have to replace Encore with Flash. That's the only way we can beat Whitney's Miltank. My only other option here is to grind to level 50 or some absurdly high level to one-shot Miltank with my move, but I really can't have that in this 50-hour time limit. Let's do it. This is my final gamble. So she starts off with Clefairy. Milky Fred headbutts it until she uses Mimic to take Headbutt, then finishes her off with Rock Tomb. Ideally, I wanted her to use her Super Potion on Clefairy because that means that she wouldn't have it for Miltank, but it's okay. Next is Miltank. She lands 4 rollouts on us despite the fact that we've used Flash on her every single turn until then. If we get hit in the next turn, we lose. And it misses! We spammed the Flash on her until she's -6 accuracy and she can't pass more than 2 rollouts in a row now. She has about 30% chance of landing rollout now, so there's absolutely no chance that her rollout will consecutively hit us. We've broken the infinite loop. But this battle is far from over. Now we're in stalemate. Our damage is too low to get past her Milk Drink, and she can't hit us with her moves. I think that's perfect though. She runs out of power points for rollout, which means she has to use Stomp, doing almost no damage to Milky Fred. In the battle of defenses is her Milk Drink against our Rest. We have the advantage here because we haven't been using Rest as much as she's been using Milk Drink, and she'll run out of move PP first against us. Her Attract actually helps us here with stalling in power points, so now she has to resort to Struggle, which means she takes recoil damage while we still have our Rest up. We finally did it. This was truly the most difficult challenge to now. but we were able to do it by switching Encore with Flash. And with that, we defeated the third gym and got the plane badge in over 15 attempts at 9 hours and 46 minutes. The Pseudo-Widow blocking our path was the most difficult wild Pokemon battle we've had yet. His Mimic was really annoying because again, Rock Tomb is super effective against us, and taking our Flash or Rest will make this battle really annoying. We defeated him on the 4th attempt. We finally arrived into Ecruteak City. This guy was so easy. Just joking, this guy was a massive pain as always. He starts off with a Ghastly, and if he gets Curse off, I have to reset. I had to reset about 8 times because of this. Once I got past Ghastly, it was his tanky AF Bayleaf which was really annoying. We got 6 flashes on him to avoid the poison powder, and just whittled him down, with him trying to synthesis the damage back up. I was literally counting the number of PP he had, so I knew when he ran out. We managed to knock him out, but it took a lot of PP off our moves. We only had about 5 PP for Headbutt and Rock Tomb. His Zubat was a piece of cake. We used this fight to rest up and knock him out after. We needed at least 40 HP to tank 2 Sonic Booms from Magnemite. This Magnemite battle, we got extremely lucky. We couldn't take more than 3 Sonic Booms, so our only chance here was to flash him until his accuracy was as low as it could be, and honestly some of my risks that I chose were so bad. I left it up to chance basically, and had he landed one more Sonic Boom at us, this run would have been a failure. But in the end, we slowly got the 6 flashes on him through resting in between and knocked him out with Rock Tomb. That was our very last PP of Rock Tomb as well, so it was a really tight win. And time to face Morty Boy. That's what I thought, but we can't even get past the first trainer with 5 Ghastlies.
Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me.
Our Rock Tomb can't one-shot him, and he just uses Spite to get rid of all our PP. Headbutt doesn't affect Ghost-type Pokemon, so I'm in a bit of a tricky situation now again. None of the TMs or HMs at the moment can affect Ghost-types, so I think we'll just really need to train until we can one-shot these Ghastlies with Rock Tomb. We beat up all the trainers up to the lighthouse in Olivine City, getting Milky Fred to level 37, but now we've run out of trainers to fight against. We attempted Morty's gym one more time, and we beat up all the trainers up to Morty, but we couldn't get past Morty himself. So I decided the best chance that we have now is to get to level 40 and teach Milky Fred Bug Bite. The next hour was us just training against the countless Rattatas and occasional Raticates in the next route, which gave 130 and 265 EXP respectively. Since Headbutt is completely useless against this gym, I've decided to replace it with Bug Bite. Now, how is that going to help us, you might ask? It makes all the difference in the world, since now, we have another 20 power points for the Morty battle. Yes, Bug is only a quarter effective against Gengar, but each power point counts. The key here is to conserve our Rock Tomb PP against Gengar. Ghastly is annoying as always, we have to reset until he doesn't start with Curse. Next is Gengar. We spam flashes until he has extremely low accuracy and rest in between so that we don't get knocked out. We then proceed to Bug Bite him to death. The extra nice thing with Bug Bite is that we can steal Morty's Gengar Citrus Fruit as well, which heals a bit of our HP back. At some point, he runs out of move power points, which means he starts to struggle, knocking himself out. We've beaten his ace Pokemon. The rest of his team were extremely easy to deal with. Ooh, that's what I wanted to say, but jokes, we've run out of power points for Rock Tomb, which makes us fail this run. Next time we'll need to make him struggle to death while we conserve our Rock Tomb power points. Off to battle again. Our third time round was so much luckier. We defeated the Gengar only using enough Rock Tombs to waste Morty's Hyper Potion. His third Haunter didn't use Curse on us, and we knocked him out after he used his last Hyper Potion. We just barely defeated his final Haunter with literally 1 HP. This was our first win in over 4 hours of grinding and repeated attempts. This battle could have really gone either way to be honest, and I think we only won through sheer luck in this run more than anything. Worst case scenario, we would have had to keep training for high base stats to win this battle. And with that, we've defeated the 4th gym and grabbed the Fog Badge at 13 hours and 22 minutes. And we've arrived into Cianwood City. Great, now I have to deal with this clown who calls me his rival. He wasn't even close. The only slightly annoying Pokemon he had was Electrode, who used Sonic Boom, so we had to flash him 6 times before we could finish him off. And with that out of the way, time to strip Chuck of his badge. But we have another tiny problem here. Shuckle's attacking moves are Bug and Rock type, which are both not effective against fighting Pokemon. Here we go again. This battle was actually comical. It was his Primate's double team versus my Flash. Neither of us could beat the other. He couldn't damage us because Milky Fred is too tanky, and we couldn't damage him because we do too little damage with our weak moves and we're missing 90% of the time as well. I gave up realizing that we wouldn't be able to beat his next Poliwrath after this fight anyways because we wouldn't have any more power points left. I had to change up my strategy again. After training a bit more with trainers I had previously missed, I took this chance to take a break and enjoy my other hobbies like music and sport, and also catch up with some friends. If you've enjoyed my content so far, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to my channel to see more Pokemon Challenge content in the future. Also, feel free to comment below what kind of challenge in which game you would like to see next. I am open to attempting challenges in any Pokemon game. Anyways, I took a break for a few days until it was Sunday to talk to a woman in Goldenrod department store. Now, she only appears on Sundays and gives us a TM for return, a normal type attacking move that scales according to your Pokemon's friendship. With maximum friendship, this move has a base 102 attack, which is insane. I figured that this might be one of the only moves I can teach Milky Fred that might give us a fighting chance against Chuck. Now again, the question is, which move can we replace this with? We need Rock Tomb for Pryce, the 7th gym leader. I don't think we'll be getting a rock type attack move until then. Bug Bite is probably my most reliable attack in any scenario, so we also need to keep that. I decided to get rid of Flash, because that was only really super necessary for Whitney. I can always get that TM again from Goldenrod department store. Let's head back to Chuck. Oh yeah, this is so much better. It still didn't go super smoothly because Primeape dealt a lot more damage than I thought, and his double team was still proving to be a strong disruption move. We managed to knock it out in our second attempt. Poliwrath, on the other hand, is a completely different story. His Focus Punch would 3-shot us without giving us a chance to attack, and wasting his PP through our rest still lost us the battle. Maybe deleting Flash was a mistake. I have two options now. Either we go back to Goldenrod City and replace Rock Tomb with Flash, or we train Milky Fred a bit more until he's a bit tankier. The only problem with replacing Rock Tomb with Flash is that it's the only rock type attack that we have until we beat Brock in Kanto region. This move is basically our free ticket to beating Pryce later on, so I still think that we need to keep it. We'll just have to train up a bit more then. After exterminating all the tentacles in this area, we got to level 45. Let's go fight Chuck again. This time round, despite him double teaming 4 times, Milky Fred literally landed every single attack. Actual MVP. The battle against his Poliwrath this time was so funny. He'd just charge up his Focus Punch and we'd just smack him with Return, which makes him basically do nothing. He did manage to land a few blows on us after we rested, but those 2 extra levels actually made Milky Fred so much beefier. Now, we could tank 5 Focus Punches without any crit to be taken down, so it was so much easier than last time because Focus Punch would 3-shot us. Luck was also on our side with Milky Fred landing 2 crits with Return, and so we defeated Chuck and grabbed his Storm Badge, the 5th to our collection at 15 hours and 2 minutes. After we gave the secret medicine to Jasmine, we're able to battle her at the gym, but we have again, another tiny problem here. We do literally no damage against her team. Here we go again. Luckily for us, we have a pretty easy solution around this. We grabbed the TM for Dig that we should have picked up ages ago, and again, we now have to ask ourselves, which move are we replacing for Dig? Return is hands down our strongest attacking move, Rock Tomb we need for the next gym, and Bug Bite is super useful in general. Rest is still such an important move for us to reset, so we definitely can't replace that. After some pondering, I decided to replace Bug Bite with Dig. The only time I really see us needing Bug Bite will be for the Elite Four, but by then we'll have access to the move relearner in Blackthorn City. Oh gosh, Steelix is still such a tank even with us using Dig against him, which is super effective. I think we'll just have to train up a bit more until we're a bit stronger. I started training by again farming the tentacles in Olivine City, but realized that effort values were a thing, so we went to Route 42 instead to farm some Goldines. Those give attack EVs, which I think is really important for our run, since it looks like we'll be relying on the attack stat a lot. I think in any other generation, if I had access to Toxic, I would have gone for a more defensive stalling setup, but we basically don't have that in this run, so we'll have to improvise a bit. We hit level 48 and got 4 attack stats, which might not seem like much, but we only had 32 in the first place, so that's like a huge improvement. More importantly, we get the option to take the move Power Swap. I actually saved the game here and tried to fight Jasmine at our current state with that Power Swap and found that the damage is still the same to Steelix. So I decided to take a gamble. I replaced Rest with Power Swap. You can buy the TM Rest from Goldenrod Game Corner, so I figured that we'll just use Power Swap to defeat Jasmine and then swap back to Rest. Steelix is just too difficult for us unless we literally train to level 70. So now our strategy is to use Jasmine's Magnemite to Power Swap and one-shot her team with Dig. But then this happened. Let's try again. It's the same result in the next run, and the next run. Her Magnemite always starts with Thunder Wave, which has a 90% chance of hitting, and the run's basically over if it lands. I keep resetting until he misses, but this guy just won't miss. I try to do the run even in paralysis, and even in over 40 attempts, we kept either getting knocked out by confusion or Steelix just one-shotting us with Iron Tail. Power Trick on Shuckle makes him too much of a glass cannon with too little defense. In our 43rd run, we managed to hit the Steelix with a dig, despite all odds of paralysis and confusion, but it still wasn't enough to one-shot him. Yeah, Power Assault isn't really viable on Shuckle. We trained a bit more to level 50 and decided to go Apom hunting for their pickup ability. Notably in Pokemon HeartGold, a Pokemon that has pickup ability between levels 21 to 40, there's a 0.4% chance of getting a rare candy after each battle, and after level 41, there's a 1% chance of getting a rare candy after each battle. I believe the next time I will see a higher level Apom will be in Route 45, which is after Pryce, so it might be worth leaving some at the daycare to level up. Holy crap, I got super lucky in this battle. Milky Fred managed to land 3 crits on the Steelix and dodge out Iron Tail, which would have knocked me out. I didn't actually expect to win this battle when I felt the flow of the battle. After defeating Steelix, we ran out of PP for Dig and should have lost the battle in this turn. But he misses! With that, we defeat Jasmine, the 6th gym leader, and claim the mineral badge at 17 hours and 35 minutes. Honestly, that battle against her was just lucky. I never should have won that. But I did think of some strategies during the rematch. I was thinking of getting the TM Flash again from Goldenrod department store and replace Rest with that to flash the Steelix over and over until her Iron Tail just never hit us, as well as making her waste a Hyper Potion on her first Magnemite before we knocked it out. Fortunately for us, I didn't actually have to make any of those adjustments. After knocking out Red Gyarados, we barged into Team Rocket's base with Milky Fred and proceeded to decimate their entire army. The 7th gym leader is Pryce, and this is where my decision to keep Rock Tomb pays dividends. Never mind. I could have actually done this without Rock Tomb. I thought Rock Tomb would do a bit more damage to Ice-type Pokemon, but it turns out that Piloswine isn't even weak to Rock-type moves, so I probably should have gotten rid of Rock Tomb ages ago. It's okay though, we managed to beat this old man super easily. Probably the easiest gym leader since Bugsy, and that was a very long time ago. With that, we defeat him and grab his Glacier badge, our 7th badge, at 19 hours and 7 minutes. Now, we have to go beat these clowns again, but this time in their main base. It turns out that Petrol was disguised as a director, so we had to defeat his really annoying team of Coughings. Dude, all his Coughings did was smokescreen us and blow up in our face. We ran out of power points, so we had to struggle him to death until both of us fainted. We defeated him, and I reset the game. Do you know why? Well, we didn't win the battle, that's it. We only won because I had Pokemon in my party, which meant that when my opponent's last Pokemon fainted, we won by default. But if instead, we only had one Pokemon in my party and we both knock out at the same time, it's my loss. It was my mistake for having my HM slaves in my party, so I felt the only way to make up for that was just to fight him again. So, after absolutely wasting 20 minutes of my life, I challenge him again, but this time putting my HM slaves into the storage first, so that they don't get in the way. The second time round was so much easier. Milky Fred landed a lot more attacks, which meant that we didn't actually have to go through the process of wasting PP and struggling him to death, so we managed to beat him in only 11 minutes through good RNG. Ah yes, another rival battle against Shen. The past two have been quite a huge pain in the ass, so hopefully this one is a bit easier. And indeed, this was an extremely easy fight, even easier than Pryce in fact. Although we missed a lot of Rock Tombs, more than I would expect, his Haunter didn't use Curse, and his Meganium didn't use Synthesis at all. Even with bad RNG, we managed to defeat him on the first attempt, so I would say this was as easy of a battle as it could get. And we get back to storming Team Rocket's base again, no one able to stop Milky Fred and me. The executives were all pretty easy to beat. They were so easy that we beat them without healing up at all from the start to the end. Proton was a piece of cake, nothing difficult there. Ariana was probably the most difficult out of the bunch, with her Murkrow having Nightshade, which deals a flat 32 damage to us. To get around that, we had enough HP to recover every 3 Nightshades, which is when we wake up from rest, so we stalled until her 15 PP Nightshade ran out. Archer was also another cakewalk, not even close baby. We chased them out and then moved on to Route 44. I believe that this is the first route where we can find Apoms that are over level 21. So we headbutted a few trees and caught a couple here. You might think that this is a waste of 1 hour, but it'll save us hours later. Unfortunately, due to the nature of this challenge, I'm not allowed to use EXP shares on my Apom as that's technically in combat. So the only way I'll be able to level them up is through the daycare center. We keep pushing forward through the ice path. The puzzles to get out were a bit annoying, but we finally got to the Blackthorn City to claim our 8th badge. The trainers here were a pain to deal with. A lot of them had Pokemon with Dragon Breath, which deals a flat 40 damage, actually 3-hit KOing Milky Fred at full HP, so we had to Rock Tomb them until Milky Fred was faster to finish them off. And we faced another roadblock. Dragon's Breath 3-hit KOs Milky Fred as I've mentioned earlier, and that's no good because we 4-hit KO her leading Pokemon Gyarados after she uses Intimidate, so we're going to have to train until we have at least 120 HP before re-attempting this battle. We just trained in the Dark Cave against Geodudes, Zubats, and Wobbuffets. Mostly I was just hoping that we pick up some rare candies with our Apoms in our party. I got Wobbuffet PTSD during this session. We attempted her at level 65 and 75 and failed, so we trained up a bit more until we hit level 69 before trying her one more time. And we beat the Gyarados! Just barely though. If we land all 3 Rock Tombs, then we can 3-hit KO her without her using a potion. We barely managed to survive the Dragon Pulse from a Kingdra after she swaps out, and now we fight a really annoying battle where she smokescreens the hell out of us. Her Hydro Pump hurts, but luckily she only has 5 power points for that. She runs out of power points and just struggles herself to death, but now we have to defeat her 2 Dragonairs with absolutely 0 accuracy. We defeat one of her Dragonairs, but now we're officially out of moves. It's up to Struggle. You motherfucker. Damn it! It was such a close battle, but unfortunately we lost again. At least we've discovered that this battle is actually winnable though, so we reset and fight her again. But it's the same result. Again, and again, and again. I'm on the verge of giving up. I've spent 2 hours battling Claire to the end, resetting whenever I lose. But then this happened on the 5th attempt. We knocked the Kingdra out, accidentally with a crit. This is our only chance to win. Milky fucking Fred! Holy crap! He crits a Dragonair for the final blow to win us the battle. Dude, that's insane. We would have 100% lost the battle if he didn't crit that, because Claire still had a full restore that she hasn't used this battle. With that, we defeat Claire and claim our final badge, the Rising Badge, 25 hours and 26 minutes in, and halfway through our challenge timer. Oh Sean Bob, boo-hoo, you only won through that battle through sheer luck, that's not fair. Well yes, you're right. But had I failed this final run, I still had one more trick up my sleeve. There's actually one more move that Shuckle can learn as a TM from our run so far. Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb has a 30% chance of poisoning the opponent. I could have just played for stall. The only reason I didn't use this strategy is because 30% chance of poisoning is a bit too low for my risk appetite, so it sort of disgusts me to resort to this strategy, only if we're super desperate. And also, I really didn't want to replace Return with Sludge Bomb. Return's been our main attacking move, so it would have been really sad to let it go. Luckily, we managed to defeat her without having to resort to this strategy. I'll leave this for later. After knocking Ho-Oh out, we can set our eyes on the Elite Four, but to get there, we need to get past Victory Road. And we run into Shen again. It wasn't close at all. His Meganium was potentially the only annoying Pokemon with his Synthesis, but again, he refused to use it at all during our battle. Also, I was pretty lucky that he didn't use Curse on his Haunter either. After finding the exit to Victory Road, I healed up and went back to pick up the TM for Earthquake, a huge upgrade to Dig, but we won't replace it yet, only after our battle against Koga of the Elite Four. I only have one chance to beat the Elite Four and the champion. It will be the hardest challenge yet, because I have to beat 5 trainers in a row, so I'm expecting power points to be the big hurdle to becoming the champion of the league. With a nervous mind, I go in and battle Will of the Elite Four. I was tempted to get back Bug Bite from the move reminder, but I didn't feel like I needed it. My gut told me that Return was a better move for the Elite Four and for the rest of this run. Oh lord, this was a painful battle. His Slowbro was so damn tanky with him using Curse 6 times at the start of the battle. We almost used all our PP just to take the Slowbro down. We still have 3 more Pokemon to defeat. Fortunately for us, they weren't as hard as I thought. Executor could have been a bit more annoying if he used Reflect a bit more, but he chose not to, so it was my battle to win. And we beat his Xatu with our very last PP of Return. That was way too close, but we beat him on our 3rd attempt after 45 minutes of trying. Now that we've run out of PP for Dig, I replaced it with Earthquake and used a Max Ether on our Return. I'm ready for Koga now. Oh man, this battle was as painful as Will's. I had to make him use his Hyper Potion before his Fortress, otherwise he'd waste all our PP. Thank god we had Earthquake for his Muck. He's such a strong staller with Minimize, and would have been a massive headache if we weren't able to 2-shot him. The rest of his team was relatively much easier to deal with, so we managed to beat him also on our third attempt after 45 minutes. This time, I felt really confident to beat Bruno without using any ethers. His team was quite easy to sweep. Milky Fred was generally 2 or 3 shotting his entire team, except his Machamp. His Machamp was a monster and actually dealt quite a lot of damage to us. It took about 8 returns to knock the Machamp out. We managed to defeat Hitmonlee with 2 HP and exactly 0 PP left in any move, so we were really lucky to have just barely managed to scrape this win. We beat him on our first attempt, which only took 10 minutes. Now that Milky Fred has absolutely no PP left, I fed him a max elixir that restored all our PP before we took on Karen. Karen was so damn annoying. Her leading Umbreon was super tanky and had double team, so we wasted a lot of PP to defeat it. Her Houndoom has Nasty Plot and if left unchecked, could really be a huge threat with Flamethrower. Finally, the biggest problem of all, her Gengar uses Spite. This is a huge problem because we only have one attack that works against Gengar, which is Rock Tomb. But that only has 10 PP to begin with, and if she gets even a single Spite off on our Rock Tomb, the run's over. I have to restart. I had to restart 4 times because of that stupid move, and it took over 2 hours for us to beat her. We couldn't beat him. Trust me, I attempted this battle over 10 times, over 1.5 hours, but none of them were even close to winning. Heck, we couldn't even get past his second Pokemon in that entire 1.5 hours. His Gyarados starts with Intimidate, cutting our damage by 20%, and does too much damage to us with Waterfall. His Aerodactyl, which we were only able to battle twice in over 10 attempts, had Pressure, which destroyed our PP. On top of all that, we still had 4 more Pokemon to defeat, but we didn't even get to see what they were. I gave up and blacked out. Really annoyed because it took us over 3 hours just to get to lands and we were doomed to fail from the start. We even wasted a lot of elixirs and ethers to get here. We're really stuck now. I stare at Shuckle's moveset and see nothing that can help us deal more damage to Gyarados, nothing to counter his Intimidate. I researched for hours. White Herb, which can negate Intimidate, is only accessible in the Battle Frontier after I defeat the Elite Four. Similarly, access to stronger Rock TM attacks like Stone Edge and Rock Slide are only available after I defeat the Elite Four as well. I'm close to giving up this run and admitting defeat to this challenge. Luckily, today was a Thursday, so I met up with Arthur, an NPC who gives a Hard Rock but only on Thursdays. Hard Rock gives an extra 20% attack on Rock type moves. There's also the Soft Sand that enhances ground attacks which can only be obtained on Saturdays. Silk Scarf for normal type moves is a bit more annoying to find. I have to hope that my mum sends it to me through the NPC in the mart, but luckily we managed to get it. Next, I go to the Ruin of Alps and break rocks over and over for about an hour. I realized that PP was a huge issue and the only farmable PP restoring item is a Leper Berry by turning in the red shard to the juggler in Violet City, which is only obtainable by rock smashing these rocks over and over. The really nice thing with Leper Berries is that since it's a berry, it triggers when our PP goes to 0, so I can have Milky Fred hold that in the battle against Lance. Over the 1 hour that I was farming, I was able to get 7 red shards, so that's 7 Leper Berries. I also took some time to farm some PP ups in case we needed some more for Lance. Now it's time to train. We trained up against a wild Pokemon in Victory Road with 5 Apoms in our party. We got to level 76 and managed to get another rare candy in this grind, and then we realized that we've hit 30 hours in the in-game clock. There's absolutely no chance we're going to complete this challenge in the 50 hours I set myself from the beginning at this rate. We need to find a faster way to level up. And with some research, I discovered that I can find hidden rare candies throughout Johto region instead of relying on Pickup's absurdly low chance of 0.4% chance. I hustled to find every single rare candy accessible to this point, overfeeding Milky Fred with the sweets and rematch the Elite Four with only vengeance in mind and a big level 88 Milky Fred. This time, we absolutely bulldozed past Will, Koga, Bruno, and Karen. They each only took about 10 minutes and we beat them all in our first attempt. I had Milky Fred wear Silk Scarf in those battles and that extra 20% damage on return was huge. Felt like a completely different Pokemon. Let's go after Lance again. I ran Leper Berry on Shuckle this time round instead of Hard Rock. Although Hard Rock does give an extra 20% damage to Rock Tomb, I felt that we would really need the extra PP considering his Aerodactyl has pressure. We weren't supposed to knock his Gyarados out because I wanted him to waste a full restore there, but Milky Fred said no and just whooped his Gyarados. Milky Fred absolutely demolished Aerodactyl with 1 Rock Tomb that crit. Holy crap, actual king. His 3 Dragonites literally slapped us with the strongest moves in the game. Thunder, Blizzard, Fire Blast, and Hyper Beam. It was kind of funny watching them do like 10 damage to Milky Fred, but we slapped him back with Rock Tomb and Return, which are also very powerful moves. Through patience and perseverance, we were able to finally defeat his team of Dragonites and buried his last Pokemon Charizard, and with that, the remnants of the Lance Dynasty. A new champion has been crowned. Hey, hold on, we're not done yet. It was kinda funny seeing our Hall of Fame photo with literally just Milky Fred. This total beat out the entire Johto region of players. What a chad. Now, as you can see, we just hit 31 hours exactly in game, so we don't have any time to lose. Only have 19 hours left to beat the Kanto region. Get out of my face, paparazzis, we still need to beat King Pokemon. Without taking even a moment of break, I went straight to SS Anne and landed in Vermilion City of Kanto to Lieutenant Surge, wanting to claim my first badge of Kanto. After Milky Fred earthquaked a couple of times, we managed to defeat his entire team of electric Pokemon. We take these 3 Ws and more importantly, our 9th badge, the Thunder Badge, at 31 hours and 17 minutes. We travel north to Saffron City and immediately take on Sabrina. Milky Fred doesn't have any bug type moves, but he slowly chipped away at Sabrina's team until we beat her. Claiming our 10th badge, the Marsh Badge, at 31 hours and 29 minutes. We're on a roll. Luckily for my challenge, there aren't many trainers in between towns in Kanto, so we just went straight to Celadon and took on Erika without having to battle any trainers. Her team was also pretty easy to beat. We had nothing super effective against her, so Milky Fred just used Return on her team until they fainted. We managed to defeat her and get our 11th badge, the Rainbow Badge, at 31 hours and 41 minutes. Now, to get the next gym badge in Fushia City, we need to get through Cycling Road and beat the trainers here to get past. There's a juggler in Fushia City who trades shards for berries that remove EVs, but unfortunately I only have 1 green shard for the Hondu berry, which reduces EVs for special attack, a useless stat for this run. Turns out that Milky Fred has max attack EV already, which is unfortunate. I wanted to get him a bit stronger. Inside the gym, we just decided to fight the trainers to level Milky Fred a bit more before taking Janine on. I couldn't figure out how to access the last trainer in the gym, so just gave up with that. Much like the 3 previous gym leaders, extremely smooth run. She wasn't close at all against our Rock Tomb and Return. Okay, she wasn't as weak as the previous gym leaders. She had an Ariados that had Nightshade, which deals a flat 47 damage to Milky Fred. That could sweep us in 4 hits. Her Venomoth also unfortunately got 6 double teams off, which made the battle quite long, but she was just delaying the inevitable. We defeat her and claim the Soul Badge, our 12th badge, at 32 hours and 18 minutes. We head towards Lavender Town after beating several trainers standing in our path. There's nothing to do at Lavender Town, so we go through the Dark Cave to get to the power plant. I realized that I had no Pokemon that could learn Flash, so I had to go all the way back to Goldenrod City, buy the TM for Flash, and catch a Drowsy to flash our way through the tunnel. We go to the power plant, and after helping the director here, we went back to Cerulean City and defeated the 7 trainers, crashing the gym leader Misty's date and unlocking our battle against her. She wasn't terribly hard to defeat either, although I had to reset once because Milky Fred knocked himself out from confusion. Her Lapras also has Sing, so she could really stall our run here. Besides that, it went pretty smoothly. We didn't have any super effective move against her team, but she couldn't knock us out either. After a pretty back and forth battle, we defeat her and claim the Cascade Badge, our 13th, at 33 hours and 51 minutes. And now we run into the most important Pokemon for this run. What? I'm not allowed to use any other Pokemon for our run? No. I'm not allowed to battle with any other Pokemon besides Shuckle, but I'm allowed to catch Pokemon. This Pokemon specifically is very important because it's holding a very important item, the Leftovers. This item allows us to heal 1/16 of our maximum HP each turn. It's incredible for a tanky boy like Milky Fred. He'll basically heal all the damage he takes each turn. I was thinking which Pokeball is worthy enough to house this Snorlax. A Great Ball? That's just disrespectful. An Ultra Ball? Too small. Yeah, whatever, let's just throw the Master Ball. Don't need it in this run anyways. Man, back in my days, Brock was an easy opponent with just Geodude and an Onix, but now he has a fucking stacked team. Anyways, in the first run, I realized that I didn't have enough PP to win this battle, so I gave up in the middle. I maxed Earthquake out with PP ups as it's here to stay on Milky Fred and beat him on the rematch. His Pokemon were really tanky, but we managed to get the Boulder Badge, our 14th, at 34 hours and 15 minutes in. More importantly, beating Brock means we get the TM for Rock Slide, which is quite a big upgrade over Rock Tomb, so we'll replace it later when I need it. Every other TM in this region has been useless so far. so I'm pretty glad that we finally got something we could use. Damn, trainers here have level 50 Metapods. What a world we live in today. We continue down to Viridian City to fight Blue, but he's not here. So instead, we just go past Pallet Town to Cinnabar Island and take on Blaine. Whoa, Cinnabar Island is gone. For some reason, Blue's here, but he's refusing to battle me, saying that we're not worthy to fight him. Screw you. Anyways, we swim a bit more until we reach Seafoam Island where Blaine actually is and battle him there. Whoa, that is so cool. Blaine's gym is literally inside Seafoam Island. Anyways, let's take on this old fart. Besides the fact that we hit ourselves from confusion 3 times in a row, this was an extremely easy battle. Each of his Pokemon were out after 1 or 2 earthquakes from Milky Fred. Anyways, with that, we claimed the Volcano Badge, our 15th at 34 hours and 57 minutes. Our business at Seafoam Island is over for now, so we fly back to Cinnabar Island to demand our battle against Blue. Alright, let's go. Our final gym. This guy is closer to a champion than a gym leader, to be honest. He's got a well-diversified team, so it wasn't exactly the easiest fight. Probably the most difficult battle since Lance. His Executor has Hypnosis, and he only uses that until we're asleep. His Rhydon was also pretty annoying with Stone Edge, but we stalled until he ran out of PP. Gyarados was also really annoying with his Dragon Dance Waterfall Chain, actually hitting like a truck against us. We lost in our first attempt because Milky Fred missed 3 Rock Tombs, which let his Gyarados get 4 Dragon Dances off and knock us out in 3 hits. Machamp also has Stone Edge as well, which hurts, but again, we stalled with Rest until he ran out of PP. His Arcanine was pretty easy, but then this happened.
Go team!
Are you fucking serious? As per my rules, I will reset, but I was actually so mad. We spent 20 minutes fighting him just to get forced to reset. This time, we got past Arcanine and got to his Pidgeot to realize that Pidgeot is one tanky boy. Or rather, I have no more damage left after 2 Intimidates from his Gyarados and his Arcanine. We're out of PP now. Struggle wasn't enough to beat him. I'm starting to hate Blue. I decided to make one last adjustment. I replaced Rock Tomb with Rock Slide as I mentioned before. It has higher base power and also higher accuracy, so it was a good replacement. The only downside is that it won't reduce the opponent's speed anymore, but it will have a chance of flinching instead. I also took this chance to use PP up on Rock Slide as it's here to stay as well. The only stronger rock type move I have access to is Stone Edge, which requires farming battle points from the Battle Frontier, so I'm going to skip out on that for this run. Please, let's beat this guy this time round. A few battles later, yes, you heard right, a few battles later, we finally beat him. I didn't feel at any point that this battle was impossible like Claire and Lance's, but it was just a bit frustrating. To be fair, his team was actually a pretty strong team overall, and he gets to use 5 full restores in our battle. It was actually kind of a challenge to defeat him. We spent 2 hours fighting him over and over before we finally defeated him. Anyways, we grabbed the Earth Badge, our 16th and final badge at 35 hours and 31 minutes. And now, there's only one trainer left in our path to winning this game. We make our way to Mount Silver. We make our way to the top and find the final raid boss. Nah, fuck that. I decided that we needed to train up a bit more and get some more PP ups to have a chance against him. With the final rare candies I've found, we finally get Milky Fred to level 100. He's now the strongest Shuckle in this game, and we've also maxed our PPs. But wait, we're not done yet. We go back to smashing rocks to farm some more green shards. I want some more of the Hondu Berry and transfer those EVs into HP. If we're going all out against the strongest Pokemon trainer in this game, we might as well do it properly. Ideally, I wanted some Tomato Berries as well to reduce my speed EV, but we only have access to that through the Pokewalker in Pokemon HeartGold, so it's out of bounds. Anyways, I got a buttload of every other shard except green shards, but over 2 hours of farming, we finally managed to get 4 green shards. I was thinking of growing some more using the berry pot system, but no, I'm beating red today. We go to Fushia City and trade our 4 green shards for 4 Hondu berries, and use that on Milky Fred. We then fly to Celadon department store and get HP ups to feed Milky Fred. I think we can remove some more special attack, but I think it's fine. We're ready. It's finally time for us to pick a fight with the strongest trainer in this game. I'm running Silk Scarf on Milky Fred to boost returns damage by 20%. I feel like PP would be a bigger issue than HP in this battle, so I want to increase my damage as much as I can. That's what I initially thought, but after several failed attempts, I switched back to leftovers after realizing that there's no way we can beat him through damage. The terrain is pretty annoying for us and half the Pokemon in his team have Blizzard, which guarantees a hit. His starting Pokemon Pikachu does so much damage against us. It's holding a Light Ball, which doubles his damage. The only way we can beat his Pikachu and not be left with like 10 HP is to keep resetting until he misses at least one Iron Tail, which has a 75% accuracy. I had to reset like 10 times until we finally beat his Pikachu. Blastoise is next, who has Flash Cannon, a very strong super effective move against us, and also Hydro Cannon, the strongest water type move in this game. Also super effective against us, so I had to be extra cautious here. I say that, but there's one problem. His Hydro Cannon deals 144 damage against us. What the fuck? Whee! Now we're really in a pickle. I attempted this battle over 20 times, but I only got past his Blastoise once just to get 2-hit KO'd by his Lapras. It's official, this game is impossible to beat with Shuckle and I've lost to this challenge. But I decided to give it one last shot. I'm going to change up my strategy one last time. This is my final gamble. No, like literally, I gambled on slot machines for 2 hours. I've never played Voltorb Flip in my life, but figured out it's just like Minesweeper, which is also a game I've never played in my life. I did this for 2 hours until we had 4,000 coins, then bought the TM for Double Team. I went to the Battlefront tier after and found that it's not possible to play with only one Pokemon, so that kinda messed my plans up. I was going to pick up the TM for Toxic and do a hardcore stalling Shuckle battle against Red, but we're screwed now. Remember the Sludge Bomb TM we picked up much earlier this run? I did say that it would work as a decent substitute to Toxic, right? The only bad thing about it is that it's only got a 30% chance of poisoning, but I did say that this was our final gamble, right? We keep Return, as it's the best move for slowly whittling down his team. The only real challenging Pokemon in theory is now Venusaur, who can't be poisoned. Now, this is our final strategy. Milky Fred double teams to max during the battle against Pikachu, and then Sludge Bomb each one of his Pokemon until they're poisoned, then proceed to return them until they're knocked out. The Hail actually works really well for my stalling strategy because it'll also damage him. With maximum double team, his team has a 30% chance of hitting us with naturally 100% accuracy attacks. The only exception being Blizzard, which has a 100% chance of hitting us in Hail, but that's fine. We'll let the Poison and Hail knock his Pokemon out. This is a pretty dirty strategy to win, and I've been really enjoying sweeping opponents' teams without attacking moves, but I guess this final battle really shows the limits of a sweeping Shuckle. On our first attempt, yes, our first attempt with this strategy, we managed to knock out his Pikachu, Blastoise, Lapras, and Charizard this way, getting to his Venusaur, who wasn't really a big threat, and we whittled him down with Return until he faints. Finally, we use the Poisoning and Hail to finish off Red's final Pokemon, Snorlax, defeating him in a fight that lasted over 20 minutes. Let's go, Milky Fred. Just a bit more. Hang in there, buddy. Truly the most magnificent battle we've fought in this entire game. We finally defeated Red, the strongest Pokemon trainer in this game. And with that, the entire Pokemon HeartGold game in 40 hours and 40 minutes. We are now officially the strongest trainer in this game. And with that, we've completed the challenge.